I feel like a famous has-been who has never been known. I feel like the one who has seen and done it all, though I've never gone beyond the four walls of my home. I feel like the musician who has toured the world, drunk all the wine in the glasses, laid all the boys and laid all of the girls. I feel like the one who has been all around the world, played every tune there ever was, heard every sound that man ever made. But I stayed here all along, writing my song. You know, the one that no one has ever heard. It's all so absurd. I feel like the king, the one of rock and roll. I feel like Little Richard, the man who played it with soul. I have seen and done it all, and I never left my home. All I ever did was sit down and write my little poems. I feel like a famous has-been who has come to the end of the road, the one with the golden footpath that rusted and corrode. Where was that highway taking me? I forgot so long ago. I am the wandering poet, wondering why I never left home. The tune sends shivers down my spine. There is life in this old dog yet, and not before time. You got me writing again, words that make sense, standing in line. I feel like a famous has-been who has never been known. I feel like the one who has seen and done it all. I would like to call on you one more time. I don't care if what is left is only suicide. I am not afraid to die. Tell me you are ready for the long and winding road, for I will still follow you, even though I am trapped within these four walls. A game of cards. Take the train, and no time to explain what it is I want doing. Come to the station, got right on, round the bend the train is gone. Sat on a seat, benchwood hard, a gentleman introduces me to a game of cards. Flicks the hand like you knew he would, the cards he gives me are bound to be good. Raise the stakes as the train breaks, got no money, isn't that funny? He just says carry on. If we don't do it for money and we don't do it for sex, do we just do it so that we can reflect on what might have been? You could come clean up as your breath turns to frost, but generally you're lost when you count the cost. It's nice to be a gambler on the fruit bowl train. You don't want your wife to know that your hands are fruit stained. If you'd rather chop off your fingers than let your children see your pains, the moral of the story is don't ride those trains. If you try to run away from the castles you have built, you will always be followed by the aces and the eights and all of your other guilt. Freedom. Freedom. All the children in the morning are calling freedom. All the songbirds in their sing, all the bells in their ring. Freedom. Freedom. All the graves are being opened, all the saints and those who died by the rope, and the executioner too, and the slow band, they are singing freedom, freedom, freedom. When the cat lets go of the mouse, when I get the key to my house, when they close down on my side, when he gives the lamb as the bride. Oh, freedom, freedom. When the car no longer rolls, when you can do it all yourself, when they share out all the wealth which disappears from the shelf, which was the only barrier to morning glory. Freedom, freedom. The last word I wish to speak, the first thing I wish to seek, standing in now and eternity. The word I love most of all is freedom, freedom. I love the rain. I ain't a part of the times. You don't like my face. The words that I'm talking make me a disgrace. If you can't hold my hand, you can still run the race. I love the rain. It might wash me away. Your eyes are like fire. You want to burn me up. You gotta empty your soul before your name is called. And if you don't hear, we'll catch you as the fall. I love the rain. It might wash me away. When the snowflakes come, settle on your brains. Don't come and complain about all of your pains. My words flow through you and down your drains. I love the rain. It might wash me away. I would I, as I have been before, as I was before I became. I would I, as I once knew, as I was then before I was you. I would I, as the thought took shape, as I walked back to where I was. I would I, as I leave this now, to be I was when I was me. I would I this moment talk, as I was I when I once spoke. I would I, and I would be the one that knows it is me. Who pays the devil? Who wrote all of those thou shalts, and what was the purpose of them anyway? Was it God who arrived here and dropped them off and then went on his way? Was it a group of men who wanted everything their way, who formed the first club committee and made up some rules that meant do not as we do, but only as we say? Money, was it all done for cash, so that we had the power, if we did something rash, to show that we had the right to get out of an illegal or moral straitjacket, so that we could get right back into whatever it was doing we were doing and carry on doing it as if nothing had happened in the first place? Thou shalt not kill, but people do it every day. So what difference does it make? What is the point of those words? What is the fuss anyway? You've got to die sometime. What difference does it make if it happens sooner than later? Thou shalt not commit adultery, but everyone does. So what is the use of those words? We no longer make marriage vows. We no longer have sacred cows. We can use each other for whatever we want. And all of a sudden we've frightened ourselves. In that moment we tore up the rules. That is the moment when we became responsible for ourselves. But you told us that if we cast these chains aside, that we would never again be responsible to anyone, not even ourselves. Who wrote all of those thou shalts anyway? What was it that they were trying to say? I don't know, and if they were here now, there would be the devil to pay. Waiting for a time. It is time for my tired life to be overtaken. Just to write for the pleasure is now all I need. To listen to the rhyme running through my line. No longer am I filled with greed. To walk alone is a heavy responsibility indeed, but from its cool cold waters I kneel to feed, and this is the only way. Everything is inverted, but you can take that route. I can write of suburbia or its dark echoed roads, for I wish to free my spirit, something you already know. I fear sometimes that I'm walking into a trap, but I know not, looking around at all this crap. The light beams in through the window, settling on the window shade. I'm happy deep inside, I hold my head up in pride, so I cannot say I worry, I just wish to bury my life. Caught between two ideals, I cannot draw a line, so I just sit here, waiting for a time that will free me of all of these things. To say it never happens will show you where I lie, or maybe I am one of the faithless. Oh, I wonder why. Poised like an eagle, ready for the flight, take off like a jet into the darkest night. I just sit here waiting for the word, just waiting in line, just sitting down, waiting for a time.